against the father, then you are your father. You are your father's substitute. You become the father. And at that point, your sexual identity begins to be very fuzzy, very unclear. Not as a male, but as a phase of development, because you're a child. You're a child, but you're expected to behave as a man. And you can't. There's a failure. There's a failure. There's a gap. So you feel that you're a failure as a man. It disrupts the identity. So narcissists generally are heavily disrupted when it comes to sexual differentiation and sexual identity. Consequently, most narcissists engage in unusual sexual practices. So it could be kink, could be BDSM, classic BDSM, could be fetishism, could be pedophilia, could be incest, could be hebephilia, preference for teenagers. Could be, so you would find narcissists overly represented in unusual or atypical sexual behavior, and massively overrepresented in what we call paraphilias. Paraphilias are actual sexual orientation diseases, like mental disease. So pedophilia is a paraphilia. Yes. But narcissists have many other paraphilias. I have a database of 1,560 people diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder over 25 years. It's not so much, no, it's 25 years. It's about 20 or 30 a year. Very few narcissists admit that they've been diagnosed. The minute I catch someone like that on a forum or something, I write to them and I have a huge questionnaire with 700 questions that I submit to them. And I have this database. And it's by far the largest in the world. By far the largest. And one of the things that I've discovered is that fewer than 3% have what we would call conventional or normal sexual style, sexual preferences, sexual orientation, and so on. Fewer than 3%. And for me, homosexuality is a normal sexual orientation. I'm not talking about homosexuality. I'm talking about really crazy things, like, they're really into this. For example, the frequency of incest shocked me. Absolutely shocked me. Well over 20% of the database engaged in incest. First degree relative incest. Daughter, son, mother, father. Well over 20%. 20, 23%. Compare it to the general population. It's like hundreds of times more than. Fetishism is, I don't remember the figure, but also like 20, 30%. Proper fetishism, like shoes or proper fetishism. Kink, all of them. Literally all of them. I never met a narcissist who is not into